Namaste, beautiful yogis. And now question and answer from Instagram, from the questions on Instagram. I'll start right away with the questions. What were a few of the most influential books you have read? I've talked about this before in the interview. You can find the interview on my channel that I did for a yoga clothing company. You can check that interview. I'll try to remember to post the link below. But nothing has changed my life more completely, more dramatically, and more to the core of my being than the teachings of Ben Sadhuno. This was a Bulgarian spiritual master who lived in the beginning of the century, and his teachings are mystical and based on basically he incorporates I wouldn't say they exclude any religion or any type of spiritual knowledge. It's just deep spiritual mystical knowledge. It's not for everybody. I just have to mention that it's kind of a mystical spirituality. It's not for everybody. It has changed my personal being to the core, because this was something that it felt like it was always something as a child. It was an inner intuitive knowing within me, but I didn't when I read his lectures. He doesn't have books. He held lectures that were all transcribed and published. And yesterday actually someone sent to me a bunch of links in English, so that there is actually quite a bit of English sources of his teachings. I don't guarantee that the translations are really good, but it's good enough. At least it's in English. And another thing is his teachings are very metaphorical, so when you start reading it, be prepared that it's not going to be like self-help American literature. It's not going to be spelled out for you. A lot of it is symbolic, or a lot of it is just stories. So keep reading, and it will speak to you in beautiful ways once you get in the groove of how he speaks. There is quite a bit of knowledge about health and healing and the power of the mind and how you use the mind to transform your life and connect to divine love. It's beautiful teachings. I don't want to become all mystical right now because it's not everybody's thing, but it's beautiful teachings, and I will try to post the English lecture links below. And in the future, I would like to do my own translations of things that have influenced me from him on my website. So fingers crossed I'll have time to do that, because it's very time consuming, and his language was very kind of old Bulgarian language, so translating him it's quite challenging, but I really want to do it, so I will dedicate some time to that. That's the most influential books. Otherwise I like and I highly recommend Rudolph Steiner, any book by Rudolph Steiner. And if you happen to not like the subject of a book you pick up, get another. There was How to Know Higher Worlds, the book, or the Testament of Luke, the Testament of Mark. All of those were very interesting. His subjects are very diverse and very interesting, so I recommend him as well. He's more mind-based to me, and Ben Sadhuno is more heart-based. Kind of similar teachings, but one is more mindy, more cognitive. The other is more intuitive and more love teachings versus mind teachings. That's what I would say. So I will keep this in a separate video so that everybody can watch what they want to see. So this was my favorite books. As far as other books go, Autobiography of a Yogi. I've read so many books, and I have to make a confession. I do not read novels anymore. I have not read a novel in 15 years. I did read the classical literature back in high school. I did a marathon of reading all classical literature, and after that I've only been reading herbology, spirituality, astrology. I love astrology, and it's another life-changing thing in my life. Of course, yoga, menus and such things, fitness, diet, veganism. Those are the books that I enjoy and that make my day. They make my soul fly. So basically that's about it. As far as favorite books, in veganism, I have to mention what really affected me back in the day. It's an old book, so there are probably better books nowadays, but I loved John Robbins, A Diet for a New America. A beautiful book. I read it 10 years ago, but I feel that it's still a good book. I hope that answers the question a little bit. I just mentioned the books that are absolutely amazing for me, or the authors. And the other books, I've read a lot of interesting books, but nothing worth exclusively mentioning in here right now. Right now, nothing else comes up as that influential. I will see you with my next question and answer. Namaste.